The Clorox, a 2020 teacher story, adapted from the Lorax by Dr. Seuss. At the far end of town, where no Starbucks are found, and quarantined people make nariest sound, and discarded masks lay scattered around, is the street of the cast-off Clorox. Amongst huge piles of toilet paper, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Clorox once stood just as long as it could until somebody threw the Clorox away. What was the Clorox? And why was it there? And why was it tossed out and treated unfair at the far end of town where no Starbucks are found? The denialer still lives there. Ask him, he knows. Now I'll tell you, he says, though you'll shudder in fear, about 2020 and what happened that year. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the classrooms were packed and the only diseases were from neighborhood rats, and the bulletin boards were filled with fun phrases, we happily strolled through these glorious places. See, we thought all was good, but we were mistaken, for old structures long weak now would be shaken, cries of illness, inequity, and not knowing the tools, and if not for the tech crew, we'd surely seem fools. But through meetings and calls and devices galore, we met with our students and we learned so much more about caring and tech and how to make learning fun for kids of all sizes and types, everyone. But we wore out our teachers, put too much on their backs, fix society and families, get economies on track, teach in person and remote 50 kids in your class, make it all work with no sleep, and do it in masks. And help kids learn to wear theirs, even students with lisps. Don't worry about buildings regardless of risks. Social distance diaper changes, blackouts while we read. I'm not sure your story, 'cause that was just me. Oh, and Wi-Fi isn't working, and the iPads are broke, and the number of meetings you attend is a joke, and the principal struggles to make sense of it all because some leaders of leaders have really dropped the ball. Let's go back to normal. This isn't much fun. Let's forget this fake illness. Head to school, all. Let's run. Forget all technology and do real learning tasks. Let's do worksheets and drills and throw off these masks. And the instant it was said, I heard a gazam. I looked and I saw something pop out of a can. He was shortish and serious and kindly and smart, but he spoke forth a challenge bluntly from his heart. Mister, he said with a mucusy ease, I am the Clorox. I speak for the sneeze. For the sneeze has no voice. And I'm asking you, sir, to make a better choice. He was very upset as he shouted and preached, You're risking the people, please learn what I teach. For teachers aren't sleeping. They're working too much, making miracles for marbles, for pennies and such. And they do this and smile, neglecting their own health. And the least is to let them take care of themselves. So think of them, sir, in your selfish effrontery. Give them a thank you and stop delaying their monetary. But you kept all your pushing, and the last teacher left, leaving so many losses and hearts that were bereft. And all that the Clorox left here in this mess was a small pile of wipes with one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. And yet, do we know what the future will hold, whether classes stay clean or covered in mold, whether the tools we now use get better or discarded when people start gathering in the places where this started? But there's much we have learned in this strange, spooky time, and let us not forget what we learned in this rhyme. And so while we worry about the cause of our cough and we wish 2020 would just go back off, we can spend time together, replenish, renew, and celebrate how awesome it is that you're you. You're the youiest of yous, the teacher we choose. So now sit back, relax, and just kick off your shoes, because for so long you cared a whole awful lot. There's a hope we'll get better, thanks to what you've taught. Let me just take this opportunity to thank all the amazing New York teachers who have helped and supported me since the beginning of this whole craziness, and for many years before. And I hope that some of what I have shared with them has been helpful as well. I think that's part of the point, is that building these networks, these connections, whether through NYSCATE or beyond, are what carry us through times such as these. And if it helps to reach out to me, I'm happy to make myself available to anyone who needs it. Take care.